Hi. So I've decided that I'm going to every week uh do a basic little review of the comic books that I read every week. Um so this one's going to be on a weird day, but from now on they're going to be on Wednesdays, the day that I buy them and read them. So yeah, it's going to be a little off today. Expect them to be more on a regular schedule soon. But let's start this. So start with issue 679.1 of The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, I read this religiously. Like every other week it comes out. There will be a new one next week, so you'll be getting a review for it on Wednesday. This is a point one, so it doesn't go with the normal schedule. The point one series of Marvel is a recap of hey, this is what's been going on so far. It gives you little pieces of um, what's been going on, what's to come. It's usually its own little storyline. Doesn't really affect the major story. Takes place between story arcs typically. Um, so basically, Peter's already had his new job for a while. He's been working at Horizon Labs, and there's a bunch of individuals who can come and go as they please. They have pretty much, from what I've gathered, pretty much unlimited funding. All they have to do is come up with a new idea every quarter, and yeah, Peter's one of those lucky members. Well, Lab number 6 has always been a mystery. Who works there? It's finally revealed in this issue. Very interesting. I thought it was really cool. I don't want to reveal what's been going on. Um, Lab number 6, character that has been in the series for a while. It's going to be really cool. He's making a comeback, from what I can tell. And there's going to be some pretty interesting things that are going to be brought in. So I'm really looking forward to see what this is going to lead to. But yeah, so that was Amazing Spider-Man. Another one that I've been reading, Venom. He's gotten his own series. Cool thing about this Venom is it's not Matt Gargan or whatever the fuck his name is. Uh, it's not your typical. It's not the Venom everyone's used to. It's not the villain. This is actually Flash Thompson. Um, after he served in the army and lost his legs. So this is a part of a storyline called Circle of Four. Hell's Breaking Loose. This is actually a tie-in between Red Hulk, X-23, Ghost Rider, and Venom. Um, Ghost Rider actually led into this. X-23 has been canceled for a while, but it's making a comeback, I think, in March. And Red Hulk, I don't know the comic line for that. I don't really read the Hulk. But yeah, Hell's breaking loose, and it's up to the four of them to stop it. It's been an interesting read. This is 13.2. Started with 13, 13.1, 13.2. Next one will come out next week. It's 13.3, and then it's going to go back to its normal schedule of Venom. Venom number 14 will come out. And while I'm on the topic of Marvel, seeing as how this is the last Marvel comic that I have to review, there is a couple of interesting things going on. Next month is supposed to be the final team up between the Avengers and the X-Men, so that'll be pretty cool. Because in April they're leading into X-Men versus Avengers. Here's an interesting little ad for that. So yeah, if you can tell, this guy is Wolverine. So he's ending with the Avengers on this one. I don't know what's going on. I'm rooting for the Avengers personally because Spidey's on the Avengers, so got to side with my boy. Um, for those of you that may know, I have started reading some DC. There's 4 Lantern storylines I'm reading, The Flash and Red Hood, but got behind on Red Hood because where I buy comics was only getting like 1 or 2, and they were gone before I could go in and buy them. So got to go find 4 and 5 so I can catch up. But Green Lantern Corps. There are 3 Green Lantern series, and then there's 1 Red Lantern series. If you know anything about Green Lantern, there are 4 Green Lanterns from Earth total. This one is actually about John Stewart and Guy Gardner. It's been really cool so far. This is actually the ending of a story arc that has to do with the Guardians and their role in the universe, and some people who want to oppose that. So I really don't want to get into it too much, seeing as how this is the ending of that story arc, it seems. But it was very interesting. I liked it. It was a pretty cool storyline. I don't know how everyone else feels about it. How they ended it seemed a little quick to me. Um, because it seemed like trouble, 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 and then oh, okay, it's good. Like there was no like long drawn out battle in my opinion. So that part was a little disappointing, but whatever. Okay, then I'm also reading one of the companies. They do this thing called Infestation, and honestly, I've only picked up a couple of them. I've only read one of them because the other ones is an issue 2 of one of the storylines, so I am waiting to find issue 1. But Infestation, it's basically like the old ones, zombies, things like that. There's a regular Infestation storyline, and then there's crossovers, and they've got G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ghostbusters, Star Trek, things like that. Well, this one caught my eye. This is what got me wanting to read it. Infestation Dungeons and Dragons. This is really cool. This is the first one. I think there's only going to be 2 for D&D, which kind of sucks because I like D&D and I wanted to see where it would go. But it's cool. It takes place in a city called Sharn, and there's a couple of interesting characters that I really like. You basically follow a detective, um, and like he's basically like Sherlock Holmes, and he's got his Watson and everything, but he's really cocky, and he's like, oh, everyone loves me, and it's really cool. And his Watson's like, you're an ass, and a lot of people hate you, and they just don't really seem to like each other because the main character is constantly insulting his Watson. They're basically like I think it's supposed to be a dark elf and a dwarf. I know that the Watson character is a dwarf, but the elf has white hair, which is typically common of dark elves, but he's got lighter skin. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Whatever. I'm probably wrong on what race he is, but I know he's an elf. No, leave it at that. But it's really cool. It led into this interesting case that they were trying to solve. Uh, some interesting information came about, and it kind of leaves you at this big momentous moment. Wow, that was really redundant. This big scene, um, it just cuts off. It's really cool. It's got me really excited for part 2, which will conclude the Dungeons and Dragons aspect. Um, but also they're going to have for this is Infestation 2. The first one has already been done. Infestation 2 is going to cover Transformers, Dungeons and Dragons, Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, and 30 Days of Night. Uh, from what I can see on the checklist on the back. But some of the ones they're showing say number 1, and like 30 Days of Night says number 1, and it doesn't show anything past really this one, which is Infestation 2, number 2. Don't know what's going on. But that's up through April, so I won't have any more until they decide to expand upon the checklist. Well, those are what I have from this past Wednesday, and when I get my next ones and I finish reading them, I will let you know what's good, what's looking bad. Another thing, if you're into uh, X23, it has been canceled from what I've gathered so far because I haven't seen one in weeks. But apparently she's making her comeback, like I said earlier. So if you're into X23 and the whole Wolverine scene, she's making a comeback, so keep an eye out for that. But until Wednesday, this has been my comic review. So hit you up later this week. Deuces.